and I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the motor city, everything ain't pretty, but it's love though. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.
What up, though? What is Papa Dockin', man? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid for Monday, November 6, 2024. I am sorry. Somebody said, didn't it just say 2:30 a second ago? Yes, it did. I changed it because I was making a video talk. I had to make a video, got the information about Ife Melifonwu and Emmanuel Mosley. Their 21-day window has opened, and we are stoked about it. Listen, I gotta say thank you guys, man. We are killing it. Lion Syndicate is less than 75 subscribers away from 25K. I am super duper stoked about it. We've got the giveaway of the Villain Lion. That's right, the Villain Lion from earlier this offseason, the small gray and black boy. I think we hit 20K in like May, so we'll be giving that away. And the person who won it never claimed it. They never claimed it, and too bad for them. So at 26,000, we've got the limited edition FOCO that's happening at 26,000. Bobblehead, Aiden Hutchinson. Now this box is empty. This is the one I bought, but the one, shout out to Nate, man, purchased it specifically for the giveaway, and we'll be doing it for then. At 30,000, we're going to give away another one of these. Well, not another one. We're going to give it, y'all, a spoiler alert too, by the way. We'll be taking a look at the press conference. At 30,000, we'll be giving away a helmet. It won't be this one. I just bought a new one. I'm going to buy a new one, and I'll give that away. All right? So we are excited about that. I think that's it. I think that's all the housekeeping we got to do. What's up, HH? I'm just call you that, bro. What's up? Jason says, what's up, D? Ife and Mosley, 21-day window has opened. Indeed, it has. Also, Vildor and Strickland back to practice squad. If we lose, do they get to the 53? Okay, so Jason, how that would work, he's referring to, so they have to be cut, bro. Like, here's the thing. If you are elevated from the practice squad to the 53-man roster during the elevations, you only get 3 of them, right? Not 2, 3. You cannot be demoted back to the practice squad. You can be, the 3 elevations, you basically are elevated. You're still on the practice squad, but you don't count toward the 53. If you are signed to the 53, like Vildor is, then you have to then you have to get waived or cut. If you have 4 or less vested years, you have to get waived. If you have more, you can get cut, which means that they could get cut and go back to the practice squad. So if you're following me, if you're part of the 53, you can't be demoted to the practice squad. You have to either be cut or clear waivers, and then you can be placed back on the practice squad. That's how we lost Trevor Nowalski last year. Pascal coming back next week. What's up, Sean? What's going on, man? What up, Nate? What's good with you, bro? Still a little sour we didn't get Harold Landry or Azeez Ojulari. Pascal coming back, Derek. Yes, we'll be taking a look at that. All right, so we're going to talk about a guy. Shout out to Braylon, man, and everybody else that keeps me informed of this information. We're going to talk about a guy that I think at this point, I'm not sure how you're going to feel about him, but I feel confident if we were to bring him in. We're going to talk about that. I don't know if I'm going to I'm debating on whether or not I'll save that for Lions Syndicate, but how do we feel about the trade deadline? Let's discuss that first. So the Detroit Lions just made one move, and I guess you can say just made one move, but it was a big move. It was graded very high. I myself gave it a C+ simply because it wasn't necessarily the move. It was the lack of moves. So, but at the same time, overall, I'm happy about this move. I'm happy Brad did not stand pat, and that is the trading for Za'Darius Smith, 32 years old, and he's going to be an impact player for our team. This guy coming from Dan Campbell, we'll take a look at his press conference a little later during the show. But Dan Campbell is Za'Darius Smith will not be with the team until Friday. They're going to give him, because the Cleveland Browns were on a bye week. So this guy might not get a bye week. They're going to see if he can play. Does he want to play? Is he up to playing? That would mean that unless they make him inactive for a game down the stretch, which they could do, he is going to play all 17 games. If you guys remember back when we traded for Snacks Harrison, the same thing happened. He was one of the first, 3 players to actually play a full 17 games or 16 games in the season. He did not miss a game that week. So I'm curious to know if Za'Darius Smith is going to play or miss this game because the Cleveland Browns were on their bye week. But do you think the Detroit Lions did enough? I think that's to be determined. It really is. If you look at, I'm going to say I don't think they did enough, but we'll see how that plays out. That's the question. Because if you look at statistically, he makes our team better than it was without Hutch, but not as good as it was with Hutch. So imagine both of those guys together. And I just got to say this. Za'Darius Smith is not getting cut at the end of the season. The Lions did not trade for Za'Darius Smith for a loaner, a 9-game loaner. It did not happen. He will be a Lion next year. This is not Donovan Peoples-Jones 2.0. He will be on the roster. He is part of the roster. He is not going to get cut. That would be dumb in my opinion. You gave up 2 picks for this guy, or you gave up a pick and basically swapped a pick, okay? Or whatever it was. They're not going to let him go. I've been seeing people talk about that they can a potential out, blah, blah, blah. It's not happening. Za'Darius Smith will be a Lion next season. Do you think they did enough? Braylon says, who's in the live chat, says, I felt a tiny bit of disappointment. I think we all did. Harold Landry was Za'Darius, Aleem, Pascal, and Reader would have been dope. I agree, Eric, it would have been. But like I said yesterday, 2 to tango. We don't know what. Actually, Tennessee Titan fans are surprised that they didn't sell at the deadline. Yes, they moved DeAndre Hopkins, but they're surprised they didn't sell. I'm very surprised as well. Arden Key was a guy that they were looking that they could have potentially got rid of. He is also under contract for next season. So I was watching some Tennessee Titans creators, and they're saying that they think that means that he's going to be part of the team next year. So I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. We'll see. Pascal will be back this week, and we'll have some reinforcements coming in, hopefully. And we always got the hope that Aiden Hutchinson will come back for the Super Bowl. But the question is, can we get there? Za'Darius Smith is going to help us get there. There's no doubt about it. I was even watching some Cleveland Browns shows yesterday, and they were salty. They were like, they would have basically held Za'Darius hostage. They would have demanded a 4th-round pick for him. And I think, so just to kind of go over, right? According to Adam Schefter, this deal almost did not happen. It was in play from the moment Hutch went down. This deal was something that the Lions were trying to get done. So if you go back, Hutchinson got hurt October 13th. And from that moment, the Lions have been trying to deal for Za'Darius Smith. The Browns didn't want to move. Earlier yesterday morning, the whole internet went in panic because Za'Darius tweets out 3 letters, SMH. And according to Adam Schefter, the deal had, I guess, fallen through. So it was exactly what we thought it was that morning, but or at that tweet. But the reason Za'Darius deleted it is because it wound up going through. So it's crazy how the NFL works and how something can be, they can be far off and all of a sudden together in a span of a couple of minutes. So he better be a Lion next year. Do not resign Davenport. I think that this could mean that the Detroit Lions are going to move on from Marcus Davenport. He was a bad decision in my opinion. I don't think him getting hurt was his fault, but I think that that's the end of his Detroit Lions career now. But they could bring him back, knowing Brad Holmes. They could sign him to a one-year deal. Instead of the starter now, he'll come in and spell Za'Darius, who will be 33-ish at that point. So Marcus Davenport is, I believe, still under 30 and will be next year. So I wouldn't count it out, B, that they do it. So let me know what you think. Za'Darius Smith, do you think that the Lions did enough? How do you think that they feel, or how do you feel that we got him? I'm excited. I'm just looking for, is he going to be enough? I think that the team is going to galvanize and be strong, but I still think that missing that one piece could be out there, and we'll talk about that a little later. So make sure you come back. Za'Darius Smith didn't waste no time changing his bio to DE for the Detroit. Bro, I saw that, man. What's up? Art says, genius for Brad Holmes to wait this out. Not only the deal he pulled off, but allow our team to build their confidence by winning games and getting our second stringers more reps. Yeah, you know, I can't be mad at Brad yesterday. It sounds like he was trying. He was trying to get more. But he didn't want to part. And now, listen, this makes 4 trade deadlines that Brad Holmes has refused to give up a first-round pick. I am now thinking he might not ever do that. Well, yeah, are we still going to make Max Crosby videos at the trade deadline? Probably. Are we still going to make Myles Garrett videos at the trade deadline next year? Probably, right? Perhaps. Hold on, let me cue up the perhaps, man, because I got it on here. I keep forgetting to use it. Come on, man. Hold on. Here we go. So it's on page 4. Are we going to do that stuff?
Perhaps.
Because that's, you know, is Brad Holmes going to ever trade his first round picks?
Perhaps.
I don't know, man. We really don't know that, but we'll see. What's up? Deshaun says the whole league been hating on us. They didn't want to give up anyone because of the path we're heading in. Okay, Deshaun, I feel you, bro. And that could also be the Houston Texans this coming off season, because look who went there, right? Danielle Hunter, Jonathan Greenard, they all went there. And maybe that's what Brad Holmes has to wait on when it's not up to the team's control. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Art says, what up, Derek? Thanks for all the content. You are an animal. Hey, Art, you got to be, bruh. If you want to be at the top of the food chain, you got to be an animal, man. And listen, I'm not done. I am not done, man. I got all these ideas. The problem is I'm a one-man show. Shout out to Nick, too, and thank you for supporting him yesterday. He had one of the best shows he had in a long time, so thank you for that support. Oh, by the way, I think I told you guys this on Monday. Pistons Syndicate will be launching by the end of the month. I've got a lot of stuff to do to get that going. I got to do the artwork and stuff like that. We got a guy that's he's going to school for broadcasting, and we hope to give him a little bit of internship here with the Syndicate. So that's exciting. I'm excited about that. If Mosley, Iffy, Barnes, Kaminsky, Martin all stay healthy, might be super marginal move for Just Smith. Okay, check this out. There's a guy that I want to talk about. What's up, HH? So it's not like they didn't get more people, other things, want to give up for other people. Okay. All right. So here's my thing. My thing about what the Lions could have a different move as well. And you guys cannot hate on this move. There's no way you can hate on this move. I'll talk about it here, but I'll go into much more detail on Lions Syndicate. I'll probably make a video about it later. All right. And the Lions, shout out to Braylon, shout out to Aaron Wilson. Aaron Wilson put out a tweet today. And I think that this is somebody we might have to consider. But before I start talking about him, let me pull up some kind of surface information. Being a Pistons creator, I feel bad for the guy. Henry, why do you feel bad, man? The Pistons don't they got like more wins or something than they had? Why do you feel bad for the guy? And I love how you now just pop up in the stream, bro. I would have loved for you to say something before that. We constantly looking for creators, man, for sure. Man, okay, so he is, fits right in. Derek Source, score predictions for Sunday's game. Okay, Fresh, you know I'll do score predictions, bro. But I think we winning for sure. I think we're going to get to C.J. Stroud. I think Za'Darius Smith is going to play. And, we'll make sure we take a look at the press conference. It is 10 minutes long, so we'll make sure that we look at that before the hour is up. But I think the Lions do win. I think they win. But, okay, check it out. So there's a guy we're going to talk about, and we're going to go more into detail. I'm very tempted to make like a double video, make a video over here, and maybe I could, because this video is interaction. So maybe we could make a video. What's up, T? I'm going to a Pistons game this Friday against the Hawks. I'm a season ticket holder. Through wins and losses, still Pistons are my team. You know what, bro? Zach, I appreciate that, man, because I kind of fell out of love with. So my son was born in 2010. I used to play basketball on Fridays. Used to go, and at this point, I'm 30. I'm 30 years old, so I could still kind of play. Now I'd be terrified to be on the court. You know how they got them over 40 leagues? I'd be terrified, bro. Achilles, you know what I'm saying? Like something crazy, right? But I tell you what, as long as my mouth ain't sewn shut, and I can think, I will always be making YouTube videos. Ain't nothing. If I had Hutch's injury, like the minute I could come home, I would still be making videos, bro. Even if they be like, yo, put your foot up, then I have to figure something out. I'm still making YouTube videos. I'm a huge Pistons fan. 2K Cunningham, special player for sure. Yeah, I've seen him play a couple of times. But with the Pistons, man, I just kind of, so with me not playing basketball and then the end of Chauncey and Rip and Ben and Rashid and all them guys, man, I kind of just like detached from them. I'm not going to say I outgrew them, but I feel like I kind of did. I've been to 100+ games, Little Caesar Arena. I still haven't got any free pizza. You think Smith plays Sunday? You know what, Tay? I do. I think he plays. He's been itching to get back in the NFC North, but I think he plays. But, because, okay, so he played Sunday. He's essentially not going to play. So for Smith, it would have been like no game and then practice and then playing. So it would have been 2 weeks before he plays. If he doesn't play, I won't trip. Because we need him down the stretch. And if we're getting Pascal back and Wingo, hopefully he can come back and stuff like that, I would be cool. I'd be cool, man, if he can play against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who we will not lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm telling you right now. That game is going to be like the Tennessee Titans. I think a little bit better than that, but I wouldn't be surprised if we blow them out. We need Smith on Sunday. We do. All right, so let's do this. We'll make 2 videos. We'll make a video over here, and then we'll make because you guys can respond over here. So I'm going to talk about a specific player. I would like to bring you guys this comment in, so keep it on. I have to remember to look down in the comment section, but sometimes you guys throw me off if you're not talking about this. So I would like your input to be included in the segment. So when you hear me start talking about this player, keep everything on that player, okay? And then I can if I look down and read the comment, then I can bring it into and add some discussion. But the purpose of this channel is to get you guys this discussion as well. So let's talk about it. You'll know who it is when I say his name. All right, let me get comfortable. I need like a little lumbar thing back here, bro. I don't have no, this chair, does it? Oh, it does. It got a lumbar thingy back here. Does it? Can I move it? I don't know. I'm gonna have to see. This chair wasn't cheap either. All right. So the Detroit Lions only made the one move, but it was a big move. We talked about it in the earlier segment, Za'Darius Smith. Will he play this Sunday against the Houston Texans? We don't know, but he seems to want to play, Dan Campbell said, and we'll take a look at his press conference again about whether or not he's going to play. They gave him till Friday. He don't even have to come in. Now, he wouldn't play a game in 14 days, so can his body handle it? Does he want to put it through? We'll see. But if he doesn't play against the Houston Texans, he'll come back and destroy those Jacksonville Jaguars. But the Detroit Lions only made the one move. Got the best possible guy they could get at the time. Max, Miles, Trey. Trey was realistic, but then they kept winning, and that happened. Man, I wish we would have got Trey, but it's all good. Till next time. But there's a guy that I think is kind of itching to play, and he could look to be a guy that we pick up, all right, later on. I'm going to say his name, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on this individual. According to Aaron Wilson, I think I have this bookmarked, so let me bring it up real quick. All right, so check this out, and let's have some discussion, because that's what this whole channel is for, discussion. According to Aaron Wilson, it says, now that the NFL trade deadline has passed, expect teams to be looking for a veteran pass rusher to explore. Jason Pierre-Paul option. Per sources, JPP is in great shape and ready to come in and contribute. He has 94.5 career sacks, played last season for the Dolphins. Now, I already know what you're thinking. Because I hear it. I hear the wheels turning in your head, right? And I can understand your point if you're like, nah, bro. No, Jason Pierre-Paul, what were you talking about to do? Yeah, we know. We know about Jason Pierre-Paul. But I'm going to tell you what. There's no way you can scoff at this if you didn't scoff at Bruce Irvin. I scoffed at Bruce Irvin. I really did. And that was last year. Yesterday's price ain't today's price. I already know now. Brad Holmes, he like him old, right? He like him over 30. That's how he likes him. He has no issue bringing in a 36-year-old man or a 35-year-old man. Bruce Irvin just turned 37 on Friday, I believe it was. So age ain't nothing but a number when it comes to Brad Holmes. I would do this. We only made the one move yesterday or at the trade deadline, November 5th, 2024. We could use all the help that we can get. We are on a push to a Super Bowl. Yesterday's price ain't today's price. What does that mean? Last year is last year. The bad that came with it and the good that came with it. Now we know who we are. We know where we stand. We are currently the number 1 seed in the NFL. Well, in the NFC. We should be. How about them Chiefs? We already know what they're doing. But we're the number 1 seed. And we're holding on to that by a slim margin over the teams like the Green Bay Packers, who we beat, the Washington Commanders. So Jason Pierre-Paul, I would bring him in a second. Now, does he have any history with Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes? I really don't know. Let's see where we are. I don't care. Get that body here. Put JPP on the practice squad and see what happens. Jason, I like that. Because guess what? That's exactly what we did with Bruce Irvin last year. Now, you might be saying, well, Bruce Irvin, Derek is too late. No, it ain't. Let me tell you, when we signed, Bruce Irvin played his first game the first week in December. So we're just now in the first week of November. So we could bring a guy in that could sit on the practice squad and I'm trying to win a Super Bowl. And I don't care who helps us do that at this point. I am not going to scoff. If you brought in Bruce Irvin, I would not even care. And I'm keeping it a buck. I'm not. This is our year, bro. We need all the help we can get. Braylon says, I wouldn't mind JPP. I do it, and it'd be cheap for JPP. I wouldn't mind. He won a championship and has a lot of playoff experience. That is correct. He won with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2021, right? Because the Rams won it in the beginning of 2022. So he was part of that championship team with the, now he's a dinosaur for sure. He is definitely the land before time. He ain't as land before time as land before time. His birthday is 1/1/89. So he just turned 35. But we talking about a guy that could come in and give you, if there's 70 snaps a game, he can give you 20, 25 for sure. Put him on the other side of Za'Darius. Hey man, this is a no-brainer. No-brainer. He won with the Giants too. If the Giants won, yes, he did. In 2011, he was part of the Giants. So he has 2 Super Bowl rings. I did not even remember that. He was part of that 2011 Giants team that won a Super Bowl. Y'all have to understand, I might seem different because I am. Again, yesterday's price ain't today's price. Last year is last year. Bruce Irvin was last year. We trying to win Super Bowls right now. And at this point, the way that our defensive line is hit, and we could even do like we did Bruce Irvin. Bruce Irvin was brought to the practice squad. He was elevated for 3 games, and then he was waived. And he wound up finishing the season with the Miami Dolphins. He actually played in that freezing cold game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, at this point, if I'm Jason Pierre-Paul and you're bringing me in, I'm going to say, listen, Brad, Dan, he got 2 Super Bowls. But I'll be like, look, I got 1. I got 2. I'm trying to get another one. Y'all got a squad to do that. If I sign with you, if I'm Jason Pierre-Paul, I'm saying this. if you bring me in, the only way I sign with y'all is if I'm staying on this roster. I don't care if you Isaiah Bugs me, bruh. And Isaiah Bugs won a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs and currently is not in the league. There's no, if I am Jason Pierre-Paul, I'm saying, look, I ain't here for my health, right? I'm here to help y'all win, but I want to be part of the team when you do. So I'm not mad at this. Let me know if you wouldn't mind Jason Pierre-Paul being a Detroit Lion, but that's where I am. We need all the help we can get right now. So that's where I would be at, y'all. I'll be there, man. If I'm Jason Pierre-Paul, I'll say, look, because look what happened to Bruce Irvin. Bruce Irvin came in, his first play, he sacked Derek Carr. Like, it was crazy, right? And then we cut him and stuff like that because he was a practice squad person. We would have to elevate him. So that's what I would do. The thing about Jason Pierre-Paul, I guess the good news would be if he played those 3 games, then you could cut him and then put him back on a practice squad. And practice squad players are eligible for Super Bowl rings. It's just a matter of do the team. And I assure you that the Detroit Lions are giving everybody on the team, all 69 players are getting a Super Bowl ring. There's no doubt about it. I think you have 150 that you have to delegate. So you're talking about 69 players. So that's half of them right there almost. You got 81 left. You got the entire coaching staff, Martha, Sheila, and then that's it. You know, I'll make sure I would give the first 2 to the Ford, whatever many the Ford family want. I would give them, I say, look, I want to take care of these 69 people, the coaches, and then I'll give y'all whatever right after that. Patty, I think he lost 2 or 3, but that hasn't stopped his production really. What's up, D's? What's going on? Good to see you again. DPJ better not get one. Jason, it's up to the Detroit Lions, but if we trade or if we win, I assure you, bro, everybody on the practice squad is getting a Super Bowl ring. That's for sure. All right, so let's do this. What time is it? Almost at the halfway point of the show. So let's take a look at Dan Campbell's press conference. I hope that we see Brad Holmes. You know what I'm thinking too? I just thought about this. Brad Holmes doesn't have to speak to the media, right? If you think about it, 2022, Martha and Brad, they came in front of the media and Martha endorsed both Brad and Dan. We traded away TJ Hawkinson. So, and Brad spoke. Last year, which was also at the trade deadline, we traded for DPJ. Brad spoke. I was surprised not to hear from him yesterday. So what I think happened is Brad is like, yo, the team is laser focused. I'm laser focused. I'm going to stay in the dark. That's what I think. So we might not hear from Brad Holmes. Bucky says next milestone will be when the Lions lock up the North. You know what, Tay? I mean, Bucky, perhaps, bro. I mean, you know what? Let's look real quick, and then we'll listen to Brad. Let me see. I mean, Dan. My bad. Dang. Okay, I got the wrong channel pulled up. So I should hit. I grew over 2,000 subscribers the last month. That stuff is rare. You know, the trade deadline was popping. So I would be surprised. I mean, I would love to hit 30 by the end of the season. I would love to hit 30K. That 30K was my goal. That'll put me on pace to grow 10K this season, I believe. 10,000 this season would be solid. I would love 35,000. Like, that would be straight. And the Lions make the Super Bowl, that's definitely coming. Yeah, no, listen. So the way that it works is you get 150 rings, and the team can decide what they're going to do with them. So there's 69 players on the active roster. Oh, I forgot about something. You also have to include you don't have to, but the Lions would. Dan Campbell did not get a ring with the New York Giants. He was on IR, if I'm not mistaken. They did not give him a ring. I assure you, the Lions will give every single player a ring. So you're talking about, so let's say that we're talking, I would say at least 85 to 90 rings you would need. Just like the 90-man roster. And then that means that 60 rings would have to go to the coaches. And I would make sure Martha and Sheila got at least one. I would say, okay, do you mind if this one ring is for the Ford family so we can take care of the coaches and stuff like that? And I'm sure they'll say yes. But everybody on the team, Bucky says J.J. Watt is also still an option. Doesn't Brad have close to $30 million to work with? Bucky, that is a good, I want to say yes, because Za'Darius is only $500,000. J.J. he seems quite firm, bro. This is year 2 now of him not playing. So I think, and I hate to say it, but unless the Texans fall apart, I feel like he would choose to go there. That's where I think he would go. What's up? Trim says, hi, Syndicate. Can't wait to see our team healing up for the playoffs. Ooh, we missed the games. I'm saying they need to make a Detroit Lions exception. What, for the rings? Give every Lions fan a ring? That would be funny. 10% a month, 20% during the run. So $35K before draft talk. Hey, Tim, that would be solid, bro. That would be solid. You know what? I'm gonna keep it a buck. Let's talk. Can we talk real quick? I want to talk real quick. Y'all can't. I want to keep this between me and you. All right. And I'm saying the people that play this on playback. Now, y'all don't have to put it in the comment section. All right. Just listen to me real quick. Just let me confess something. I'm kind of bummed out. Not bummed out, because bummed out make it seem like I'm sad. I just want to tell y'all I'm at peace. Derek is at peace with his situation, his internet situation. He can't be friends with everybody. You can't make everybody happy. And not everybody's going to like you. That's cool. As long as you like me in real life, once you meet me or you don't, I'm fine with that. And most people who meet me at the games and stuff, they super cool. Like, they like, all right, I've gone to the games with Nate, and I've gone to the games with John, and I've gone to the games with a lot of people, and they're like, okay, this dude is real, right? So they met me in real life. But I'm kind of bummed. I'm going to tell you why. Because there is an individual, well, I ain't saying no names, all right? Shout out to Tank and the Army Money podcast. We ain't saying this. So this segment is called I Ain't Saying No Names. And then we'll listen to Brad and Dan. I ain't saying no names, right? But it kind of bums me that a particular channel is probably going to have earned a plaque by the end of the season. And I've already done the math. And if they continue to grow like they've been growing, then they will probably, if the Lions do what we think they're going to do and make the Super Bowl, they're going to probably get a plaque. And that bums me out. That little plaque that is probably made of whatever material. It is kind of cool because when you get a YouTube plaque, like the people that prepare it, they wear white gloves, which is super cool. But this is how I was feeling. It kind of bums me out that they're going to get a plaque before me, which is crazy. Now, I will say this. I thought about doing this. And this might just seem narcissistic, but it's not. Trust me. I was so thinking, like, when I get the plaque, that I have a meet and greet. Like, I open it in front of y'all. Like, we have a meet and greet. We meet somewhere, man, and I open this plaque in front of y'all. Like, because the plaque is y'all's as much as it is mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, if y'all ain't watching, then I don't have this thing. You feel me? So anyway, that's my I ain't saying no names. Giveaway to meet you at training camp back in the day. I remember. Hey, bro, that was 2 years ago. Do you think Z Smith jersey is going to be sold out fast? I think. Thank you, Miss D. Says, I like the way you cover the team. I appreciate that. Maybe. I think they'll sell, but how much, I don't know. Yo Grid, we owe Houston Texans for what happened Thanksgiving game when the runner was down back in 2011. I've been salty since. Okay, Giz, check this out, bro. But we also can thank the Houston Texans for our current regime. That was Thanksgiving Day, 2020. Deshaun Watson was still a good quarterback back then. Carved us up, 41-something, and you got the iconic Sheila. The iconic Sheila pose, man. And that's the domino that started Brad and Dan to be here. Would you ever have co-hosts like Pat McAfee show, and how do I apply? Eric? Bro, let me tell y'all what I have planned. So the answer to your question is yes. That's my goal. That's my goal. That's the goal for this channel. Like 100%. So I have an idea, right? But it's got to be cost effective. If the cost doesn't make sense, meaning I'm not going to do it to say I've done it, but it has to make sense. The goal is to eventually have a studio. All right. So next year, I got a lot of business things planned for the whole brand as a whole. Right. And I want to get to a physical location that there are shows held there. There are interviews. You know, we can have people come in, other creators, other Detroit Lions fans. So absolutely. Yes. That is the goal for, I'll put it like this. The goal is a better Woodward Sports. That's a Woodward Sports that is run by fans, right? That's the goal. That's the whole goal of this channel. This channel is not meant to be Detroit Lions 24/7. It's just very difficult to find creators that want to talk something other than Detroit Lions. You know what I'm saying? So that's the goal. That's my next 5-year plan, is to get this channel and this entire brand where the vision that I had. And the whole thing will be 10 years, a 10-year plan. So yes, to answer your question. Taking a bus to Houston with fans, bathrooms didn't work. Hey, hostage, what you talking about, bro? Hey, appreciate that, bro. If Hutch comes back and we make the Super Bowl, do you think they play him a lot because it's his first game back? No, I think Hutch will see 20 snaps, maybe. That's a lot. That's a lot. He might see 10 to 15 if Hutch, but he will play. How much, I don't know. They won't after darks from my studio. The wife wouldn't allow that. Wait, what? What's up, Peg? What's going on? All right, let's take a look at Dan Campbell's press conference. I don't know what y'all talking about, bro.
One that we're looking forward to. You respect the brand of football they play with. So this will be a good matchup.
I'm curious with Za'Darius, that he would have had a bye week this week. Does that impact at all on the availability that he has this week?
Well, we gave him a couple of days off, so he'll be back Friday, and then we'll see where it's at there.
It's a matter of how much he can absorb of the packages in the playbook to be ready to go on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's certainly a place to use him. We'll see what it is when he gets back here on Friday. I thought that was important. I mean, he's been in this league a while, and they were actually just going on their bye week, when he got the call from us and everything got done. So, let him do what he needs to do, refresh, get back here Friday.
The process with the acquisition, you mentioned, Brad will bring something to you when it's seems realistic. What were those conversations? What do they look like? How excited are you to get Za'Darius in the fold?
Yeah, I mean, that was, like I say, I was able to put eyes on him a while back, certainly like the player, feel like he fits us. We'll bring something that we feel like complements the other players in that room. He's going to play the run. He can get an edge still. He finishes on the football. He's tough. Violent player, and so we're excited to have him. He'll be good for us. But yeah, I mean, I can't tell you the number of calls and inquiries that there are, and the bottom line is it's hard to find a pass rusher, especially in the season. Most teams aren't going to give them up. They don't care what you say, which is smart. And there's lessons learned. Brad and I were talking about. There's always lessons learned. We learned them in 21, 22, 23, 24, and as many of those guys as you can have. That's, it helps because that's just, injuries happen. And we happen to get hit at one position worse than anywhere else.
Will Josh be back this week? Just staying in that position?
I believe he'll be good to go this week.
Obviously done well to, counter not having Hutchinson. But is Za'Darius maybe that proverbial one player away that sometimes you are, that one guy that you might need in the right situation at the right time later in the season?
Yeah, you don't ever know that, and that's why I think you got to be careful with the one player away. I don't think that exists necessarily. Now, can it help and can it balance things out everywhere else? Yeah, absolutely it can. But it's you do the one player away, and then all of a sudden the one player away got hurt, and you're like, oh well. But I do think I do think it can balance things out, and it does alleviate pressure in some areas, and I think it helps us spread the load through that defense.
Player, I don't know the whole extent of your history as a player, but I'm sure there was a time where maybe you guys acquired a player when you had a deficiency or someone was hurt. What does that tell you as a player, as far as in the locker room, when your GM, your coaching staff goes out and gets some help, some reinforcements?
I thought you were going to ask me, was I the one player away when I played? Absolutely not. No, I think it. Like, I think our guys are pretty good about, they trust us enough to know, like, if we're making a move or not making a move, it's for the best of the team. Like, they know where we're at. The core of this team, I mean, we've been together 4 years, and so I think they're good with, hey, man, if we're bringing somebody in, we need him, he's going to fit. If not, then we're good with what we got, and these are our guys, and we go to war. So, I know they'll embrace Za'Darius. He's going to fit into what we are, what we do. I know that. The guys are going to love him, and I think it's going to be a good fit.
There were lessons learned. Teams don't like to give up pass rushers, but what other lessons were learned at this deadline throughout this process?
Well, I think that's just the biggest thing is, injuries are coming. You always do. But when you get hit at one position, really, I mean, between Davenport and Hutch and Barnes, Kaminsky back in training camp, I mean, that's really your starters and your depth. So it's just, when you're in this position, trying to acquire pass rushers is a different deal. It's not like a receiver or a running back it just is, because there's a premium on it. Teams don't want to give them up.
How do you tell how good of a fit he is? Like, do you know him well? Do you talk to other people, other coaches? Like, why are you so confident he's definitely a fit?
Yeah, we've got enough, I think, people that speak highly of him that I know, players and coaches, and they all say the same thing about him. Team guy, hard worker, tough, loves the game. And then you watch the film, and it backs it up. So I can't imagine that all of those guys would lie to me.
Did you have a chance to talk to him post-trade? And what was
I did.
What was his reaction?
He's fired up. He's excited to be here. He's ready to go. He said everything that you would want to hear, man. He's going to give it everything he's got, and he wants to help us win. And whatever we ask him to do, he'll do.
Any transaction that was closer than maybe just basic talks?
I don't want to get into that.
Aaron Glenn is a homecoming for Aaron Glenn. I was wondering if you could just talk about the type of person and coach he is that that's made him so successful.
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of things. First of all, he's salt of the earth. He's an unbelievable human being. He's a man of high character. He's a grinder. I mean, nobody works harder or longer than he does. He's a student of the game, for a guy that has learned so much. He wants to learn more and more. I mean, he's just constantly looking up better ways to do things, other ideas. I think he's strategic. The things that we go into the game with to attack opponents, I think it's some of the best in the league, man. And then when you start losing a couple of pieces here and there, and now you're still trying to attack them, but you've got to use what you have on the roster, I think he does an outstanding job. He doesn't have bad days. He's not one of these guys. I mean, he doesn't mean he didn't get, he can get pissed off. I mean, believe me. But he's a fiery guy. But he is, and he just doesn't live like that, man. Everything is, hey, you tell me what it is, you tell me what we got, we're going to make it work. And we're going to make the most of it, and we'll be good. And, he's just positive, upbeat, grinder. I can't say enough great words about him, everybody respects him, and those guys play hard for him.
Coach Ryan said, their turnaround obviously happened a little bit faster than yours did here, but do you see similarities, I guess, in how they've built through the draft?
Yeah, I do. I mean, look, they've got a lot of young talent that they hit on, and it's funny because most of those players over there are all players that we really were high on too. And so when you see that and you see some of these players, you're like, man, that was a good one. That was a good pick they got there, and you see how hard they play and the type of football players they are, and so I do think there's a lot of similarities. And there again, I think they've drafted well. I think D'Amico's done a hell of a job going in there, and just the style of play that they have. I think the quarterbacks played well. They got one there, and they're like anybody else. They've had to go through some injuries and stuff this year, and they're battling through it, and they're still one of the top teams in this league. So they're finding ways to adapt and continue to win. So it'll be a challenge.
Good day to Nolan.
I know Jason was back officially at the end today. I know he was around the last couple of weeks. You get the sense that, or what do you think he learned from being out the past couple of weeks that made
I think anytime you don't get to play this game, I think you'll always, I think, reflect, and it just helps you look at it different vantage point, and because it hurts, man. It hurts not to play, and when you don't have anybody to blame but yourself, it makes you look at yourself a little bit, a little bit harder, and so he'll be fine. I really believe that. And I do believe he'll learn from it. I think he's he was just out there today, man, and our walkthrough we had, he's locked in, ready to go. So I think he's going to come right out of this on top.
You've got one practice squad elevation left for Muhammad. With the addition of Za'Darius and then hopefully getting Pascal back, like you said, what is the plan for Muhammad moving forward, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. This week will be a big part of that if he plays or if he doesn't play. But to your point, we still have an elevation, and if not, then he's on practice squad for now. No, I mean, not really. Germ didn't. He really didn't do anything today. Rodrigo's he's better. We'll have to see what he looks like tomorrow if he's able to go out there and practice. But really, other than that, I think that's about it. Feel pretty good about Pascal. Obviously, JMO's back. Oh, we are going to start the clock on E-Man and Iffy.
That's Jay.
Thank you. Yes.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so there you heard. Dan I don't know, bro. He was a little chippy today. Hold on. He was a little chippy today, man. I think he was ready for this whole thing to be over. Just all the talk and stuff like that. All right, let me see. How long we got on? All right, we got about 10 more minutes of the show. So thank you, Q, for the dono. I appreciate you. All right, Tim, I don't know if you local, bro. I would assume you are because of those comments. But listen, I am open to whatever this situation is. Tim, I guess we could have a conversation so I could figure out, because it's hard to have through text, trying to figure out what you're trying to say. Are you saying that once we were making $20K a month, then we would talk about, would it be an internship before the end or whatever? I don't know, man. But most of the people who work with me are paid. So, but it's complicated, but they do get a little something. Brandon says, thank you, Derek, for your time doing this. Well, listen, y'all, what's up, Big? I love doing this. I love talking about this team. I wish I had that same passion for the Pistons and the Tigers and the Red Wings. I'm not into hockey at all. I would have to rate it football, basketball, baseball, and baseball is only now because of the clock that they started. So, Q-Ball says, make that $20K a month, bro. Hey, appreciate you. Listen, I'm going to say this. $20,000 a month. I don't want to make this into a YouTube. We got 10 minutes left, but is it capable of making $20,000 a month on YouTube? The answer is yes. It is yes. Have I made $20,000 a month on YouTube? I have not. All right. But is it capable? Yes, it really, really is. But I appreciate the super chat and the kind words as well. He used to love doing this with his buddy. Dirt, man, listen, look, we gonna switch the StreamYard and stuff like that. It's some guys I want to bring going and stuff. I am probably going to pay for StreamYard until I can figure out how to use this system, because I really want to use this system. But the problem is the people who come in and through voice, they can hear themselves. And I've been trying to figure out how to fix that to somebody. Says, so yes, it is. Yes. Okay. So hostage. So this is going to be a continuation of I ain't saying no names. Okay. So the make good decisions is talking about J-Mo. That's just talking about J-Mo, because I said it and it really stuck with me. And Dan Campbell said it today. It's hard, like when it's 100% your fault. So he's basically saying the same thing we've been saying, is he's held accountable, right? I had people chewing me up for my opinion on Jameson Williams, that he was needed to take responsibility. And we got to stop sugarcoating stuff with him. That's what I'm saying. I'll be 45 real soon. And Jameson Williams could legitimately be my child. So I'm not like, oh, it's the boo-boo. No, you can't, bro. You playing with fire. You know what I'm saying? So it was good to see Dan Campbell. But yes, that was exactly who I was talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And it's kind of funny that I don't think any of those trips were happening. When I saw the price of those things, I was like, have you lost your mind? Have you lost your mind, bro? Who would do that? Who would do that, bro? That's funny. Denzel says, I was thinking about, listen, if you are thinking about starting a podcast, whether it's about Lions, sports, whatever it is, holla at your boy. I can help you do that. Podcast, it's different from YouTube. So if you want to do YouTube, that's different. But if you want to do a podcast, I can help you get started. You don't need a bunch of equipment. You can use StreamYard, okay, to make a podcast. So if you want to do that, if you want to know how to do YouTube, then you can holler at me, man. We definitely can set something up. If you ever have a wrestling syndicate or MAA, I would love to cover it. Hey, Eric, listen, bro, holla at me, man. There's a link on Lion Syndicate. If you go to the channel page, it says Google Forms, or if it says want to become a channel host, fill out that form, man. We'll set something up. I have a I almost read that. Lance Brandy says, Derek, do you like about 45? My brother don't. 35. Well, hey, I appreciate that. I don't like they're giving him a bye week unless they know. I don't like they're giving him a bye week already unless he knows our scheme or familiarity with the Lions playbook. I mean, okay. Do we really got to know, though? Do we really got to know? He's an edge rusher, right? So I would just be like, Hawk smash, right? So Za'Darius don't need a bunch of time. He got time to get the scheme and all that stuff. Dude, he been in the league a long time. So I'm sure it ain't a lot of stuff that's going to surprise him. After I explained to my coworker, he laughed out loud. Yes, Denzel, holla at me on Twitter. My DMs are open, and we'll go from there. Is Za'Darius in Detroit yet? No, he'll be here by Friday. He'll be here by Friday. Where did you get that sign in the background? Okay. All right. So I understand. You know what? I'm going to give you a pass, bro. The sign in the background is in my description of, and that's, you know what? That's why I need to take care of these graphics. I need to change these. It's in it's the first link in the description of Lion Syndicate's description. All right. So go over there after the show. It's the very first link. His name is Whitebeard Signs, and I have a promo code as well to save you $30. All right. So make sure you do that. There's no playbook. It's called Get to the QB. Exactly. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Bro, thank you for giving us a job, and you're the only one to do stuff like this. John Doe, bro, we not there yet. we not there. Look, I can't be passing out jobs, man. As a matter of fact, I don't have any employees. These guys are 1099. They're independent contractors. They can quit whenever they feel like it. So I'm not there yet, but one day, hopefully, that would be something. I don't know if the thing I like about being a 1099, these guys is that this is what I realized from being in charge of something is I understand why your boss doesn't kick it with you. Your boss, he or she kind of have to be. It's hard to be your boss and be your friend at the same time because, nobody likes to be told what to do. So, yeah. Did you hear the question that Dan didn't want. No, Nate, I didn't, bro. I was going to ask y'all the same thing. Hey, Q-Ball, you already know, bro. The W-9. That's crazy, man. Yeah, I got everybody. I got all the syndicate hosts have filled out a W-9. So, yeah. Hey, Eric, John Doe said he ready, bro. He ready. Now, Eric, I will say this. I would prefer a wrestling syndicate over a MMA. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, bro, I mean, listen. We got big plans for the brand. Like, real talk, man. I'm gonna say this, and I'm not offering a job because I can't offer that right now. But I am saying this. I've been talking to my wife about this, and we'll wrap up the show. There's one more thing I want to talk about though. I've been talking to my wife about this. This is getting difficult. Let me tell you what I have to do. Okay, after I do this live stream, I have to release 2 videos on this channel. I have to make a couple videos on Lion Syndicate. I still have Lion Syndicate Film Room. All of that stuff, man, is starting. And then on top of that, you're talking about the back end work too, like paperwork and sponsorships and all that stuff that I'm reaching out to. It's a lot, man. You think making YouTube videos is easy? It might be if you don't edit, but it's still kind of time consuming and difficult at the same time. Hey, Jake, listen. If you could talk about them, first of all, thank you for the donation. Yes, but you got to be serious. Bro, I am looking for NFL syndicates. I like real talk. So this is not a game for me, bro. Like, if you think you can handle it, I don't know if you have any experience on YouTube at all or whatever. Yes, in a second, bro. That paperwork could be out by the end of the month. Like, real talk. Derek, bet on the spread. Let me see if you wait. If I win, you have to give up that beautiful blue muscle blueberry line. This ain't going nowhere. This will never go anywhere, bruh. You can get your own, or you can win one maybe. And when I hit like 100K, when I hit 50K, I might give one of these away. Like, this might be 50K right here. I'm packing my bag at the door. I'm from Kansas City. Be the perfect referee syndicate. Y'all are dumb, bro. Y'all are dumb. But anyway, listen, let's do this last segment right here, and then we'll wrap up the show, man. I appreciate y'all, man. But real talk, I am keeping my eye on there's a place right down the street from me. So what I've been doing is I've been asking around. When I see a vacant like premises, I'll ask around. I'll even call the number for sale, like the number that is on there if you want to lease it or whatever, right? But what I'm understanding is that a lot of these places, they want retail. So it'll be like retail space, right? So they want you to sell out of there. They don't want a office or anything like that. They want you to sell. But there's a place right down the street from me. It's probably the same size as the Woodward Sports setup, which is super duper small. Woodward Sports is probably as big as the same size that I'm sitting in right now. I've seen it. It's the same size. It's very, very small. It's probably a little smaller than that. He wants a certain amount of money a month. That I could pull that. Like, really? But what would the point be, right? So if I can do there what I do in my basement, what would the point be? The point is I can bring people there to interview, stuff like that. I could also have other people come in and run their shows. So that would be the point, but it would have to make sense for me to do that, but I am looking. All right, let me move this over here. Let me see. Cue ball that lion. Yeah, this lion is 650, bro. And it actually is much bigger than what it looks like. It's 4 feet from side to side. So the only reason it looks so small is because you guys are so far back from it. I'm in the foreground, it's in the background, but it's way bigger than what it looks. Let me see. Yeah, so I'm in the foreground. So it looks smaller, but that's how small it looks. But it's actually much bigger than that. Yeah, Dern, I'm glad you like it, man. I'm a fireman, 21, have no kids and a lot of days off, don't have much experience, but I'm willing to invest my own money and time to learn. Also in school for cybersecurity, if that means anything. Well, John, no, it doesn't. But I mean, Jake, my bad, bro. Listen, there's a link on Lion Syndicate. Go fill it out. And with the exact stuff you told me. First of all, thank you for being a fireman. I considered doing that for I watched Backdraft and all of a sudden wanted to be a fireman. Anyway, but I appreciate your work, man, and putting your life on the line and stuff like that. Got to be crazy. Man, that means you got a lot of time. You got like a lot of time there and a lot of time off. So, but anyway, man, if you want to discuss it, we will. But let's get through this last segment real quick. Then that'll be the show. All right, who is this? All right, so we're still in the season. I don't like talking about the offseason when we're still in the season because as Lions fans, we've done enough of that. We've done enough. We would be talking about Lions from 5 years ago. We'd be talking about the draft right now. Lions from two years ago. I mean, at this moment, we were, so we're 7-1. We were 2-6 right now. We were 2-6, and I was the only one making videos about how the Detroit Lions can make the playoffs. I got receipts, all right? So go look it up. But the Lions are... So we're talking about the offseason. This segment is going to be about the offseason because I saw something that I thought was interesting, especially based on the November 5th trade deadline and how there were rumors coming out that we might have been interested in Marshawn Lattimore, who has a connection with Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn. Now, he ultimately went to the Washington Commanders as they are trying their best to kind of compete in the NFC as a whole. And right now, I would say they are the second best team, second to us, the Detroit Lions, obviously. But so that brings to the thing about Carlton Davis. The Detroit Lions traded for Carlton Davis, gave up a third-round pick, but he's only under contract for this year. After this year, he is not under contract anymore, so the Detroit Lions have to decide what they're going to do. We know Brad Holmes loves to re-sign people if they've done their part. Alex Anzalone, numerous people, even people who got injured. Emmanuel Mosley, he will resign people if you do what you're supposed to do. If you come in and make some noise, they will re-sign you. But I saw this today, and that is one of our starting corners. Carlton Davis is kind of anticipated. He's predicted to go to the AFC. And I think this is weird. We're still in the middle of the season, but Bleacher Report is predicting that he is going to be a Las Vegas Raider next year. Here's what they had to say. The Raiders' strategy of hoping Jack Jones will live up to the hype he created over the second half of last season has not worked out. Their hope is that Jacorian Bennett would elevate his game of a dependable starter isn't looking good either. Nate Hobbs is the Raiders' best cover man, and he's a free agent this offseason. The Raiders need a veteran starting corner who can stabilize the position. That's exactly what Carlton Davis has done with the Lions this year. The 28-year-old has come in and given the Lions a more consistent player at the position and could be signed to do the same thing in Vegas. Now, all of that's very true. Super true, man. He could go any number of places. Why would he go there? Why would he go there? The only reason that I could see Carlton Davis, first of all, going anywhere is if we win the Super Bowl. And if the Lions don't want to re-sign him or the funds ain't adding up, the math ain't mathing. But why would you go over there? The Raiders are like the Lions used to be. Remember, we had to overpay people to go there? So if he wants to win, he'll go stay here, okay, or go somewhere else. If he wants to get paid, that could be an option. But if we win the Super Bowl, then he could literally go anywhere. If you win the Super Bowl, go to the worst team, go to the Carolina Panthers or whoever else, the Jacksonville Jaguars, go over there if you want to get paid. But if we win the Super Bowl, then of course, then the sky's the limit. Now but do you want to continue to win? Are you good with the one? So I don't know, man. I don't know. That's kind of a bold prediction. I mean, we ain't even done with the season yet, and they're already looking. I guess that says a lot about Carlton Davis. Remember, I will say this. Our secondary for last year was loud, meaning all you heard was noise. It was, Cam Sutton was getting burnt. Jerry Jacobs getting burnt. Burnt. Everybody was burnt toast. This year, you kind of don't hear anything, right? After who was I going to say? Oh, after Terrion and his early pass interference calls and touchy, I think he got called with something last game. It was on special teams, and it was something he didn't even have to do. You really don't hear anything from the secondary. That's a good thing. The only thing that you really hear is Kirby Joseph making noise. You know what I'm saying? With his now 6th interception on the season. And I think he's tied for most interceptions along with the guy that played for the Green Bay Packers, who didn't get one, ironically. So anyway, I don't know, man. It's a little early to be talking about the offseason for me. I usually don't like to do this because the offseason is so long, but it's very interesting. I thought I would bring it to your attention. Let me know what you think. All right. Practice report is coming out. Okay. All right. If it come out B, let me know, man. We can make a video. We can make a video about it. There are reports he go to the Steelers this offseason. I like Carlton Davis, and I would like to see Amik Robinson use more. I see the plan being one of two things. Either we re-sign Davis or he becomes comfortable enough with Rakestraw. Cam Sutton was just elevated to regular roster with the Steelers. Wait a minute. He was on the practice squad? I didn't even know that, bro. I have not paid any attention to him since we covered his stuff. No, he's balling out. We want him. I love his play. So right now, halfway through the season, do you think the Lions re-sign Carlton Davis? Carlton Davis. That is crazy, man. That is crazy. But anyway, listen, that's going to be the show. I appreciate y'all. We will eventually buckle down on the time. I do like bringing in Dan's press conference, and that changes. It fluctuates, but it doesn't matter because I really wanted to bring it in live, but I had my wife has lunch at 1, so I sit down with her. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out a poll about what time you guys would like to do this, and we'll kind of work around that. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me check. I forgot I can check my DMs from my computer. Okay, so it is. Oh, this is good. This is good. Okay, so I'll tell y'all real quick. We won't make a video about it. I'll probably do that on Syndicate. Here is the practice report. This is good. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, no practice. I think Dan was speaking to them. Ankle, no practice. Za'Darius Smith, personal, no practice. It's good to see Broderick Martin. Where are we at? Week 2? Iffy open today, Emmanuel open today, Pascal full practice, Vaki full practice, Makai full practice. This is very good. That's very good, man. That's very good. Anyway, y'all, listen. If you guys are serious about learning anything about the Syndicate, I got a forum on my other channel, Lion Syndicate. Go to the About page. As a matter of fact, let me show you. But first, I got to make sure y'all ain't seeing no information. I can't be giving out all the information now. All right, let me see. I'll show you where to go. But listen, don't fill it out if you ain't serious, man. Or ladies. Don't fill it out. All right, let's see. All right, let me bring this in. All right, so if you're on your phone, I don't know if you can see this right here, but this is a Google form. If you're on your phone, you can pull that down. It says more. You'll see a want to become a channel host. You click on this. It will take you to a Google form that you can fill out. I see that you filled it out. It's got a couple questions on there. Give me your email address. Then we can start some dialogue that way. And then obviously I have the email. I would prefer if this is business only. Really, I have people contact me on there, but it's really a business channel. I might need to do like a fan email address, because I know a lot of times people come in here and they want to say how cool the show is and stuff like that. And yeah, which I appreciate. So that the email in the description for Lion Syndicate is really business. So, like I said, I might create a fan one. But anyway, listen, I will see y'all on Friday as the Lions. We'll talk about the prediction and all that stuff, man. But with that being said, you guys have a great rest of the day. Subscribe to the channel. Wait a minute. Did we hit? Hold on. No, we will. We are 3 subscribers away from 3,600 on this channel, man. So I appreciate y'all. I will see you over on Lion Syndicate and back on this channel on Friday. Have a great day, y'all. Take care.
Hello, hello, good morning. Horns is blowing, and I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets. Cause when you're in the motor city, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets. Cause when you're in the motor city, everything ain't pretty, but it's love though. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.
Hey, yo, I just want to say real quick. So Broderick Martin wears 99. So unless Martin gave up his number for Za'Darius Smith, Za'Darius has to pick a new number. His old number of 55 is Derek Barnes. Maybe Derek Barnes would be willing to give it up, but I expect him to have a new number. Maybe he even wants a new number. So I was seeing the comment section. I figured you guys, I could tell you.